All right, we're back here at Fantasy Springs Resort and Casino. Ryan Garcia is your main event fighter of the evening, and as he settles in, getting to the arena, getting wrapped up, we're inside the ring now for our next fight, which will feature Rolando Magbanua of the Philippines, looking to follow the example of Eugene Lagos, who knocked out Emilio Sanchez. His opponent is undefeated Joet Gonzalez, who is 18-0 with 10 knockouts. Mark Frado is in the center of the ring, ready for the introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you once again to Fantasy Springs Resort Casino here in Indio, California. This is Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN. This contest is scheduled for 10 rounds in the featherweight division. It's brought to you by Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions and presented by Tecate, the official beer of boxing, Hennessy, Never Stop, Never Settle, and Wad Gear. The judges for this contest are Carla Kais, Rudy Barragan, and Patrick Russell. And controlling the action, the referee in charge is Jerry Cantu. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 125.6 pounds. His impressive professional record consists of 26 victories against only 6 defeats, 18 wins coming by way of knockout. Wearing black, trimmed with red, and hailing from Cotabato in the Philippines. He is the former WBO Asian Bantamweight Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, the smooth operator, Rolando Magbanua. And his undefeated opponent across the ring fights out of the red corner. He weighed in at 126 pounds even. As a professional, he has 18 bouts, 18 victories, 10 coming by way of knockout. Wearing red, black, and gold, and representing Glendora, California, ladies and gentlemen, Joet Gonzalez.
Check it out, mouthpiece. What? Gentlemen, you were giving your instructions in the dressing room. I want a good, clean, hard fight, and you will obey my commands at all times. Both of your trunks are a little high, so right here is legal. You understand that? Good luck to both of you.
Jerry Cantu is a third man in the ring. The man next to me here with this broadcast is Joel Diaz. I'm Bernardo Osuna, coming to you from Fantasy Springs Resort and Casino. Joet Diaz. What do you expect from Joet Diaz?
Ready.
Well, we expect a great fight. Joet Gonzalez is a great fighter. A lot of experience. You know, this kid has been all over the place. He sparred some of the top fighters out there. You know, he has a lot of experience. And, you know, he's going to put up a great show tonight. But you can't take this Filipinos light. As you see, you've seen it with Emilio. They're strong, and they're here. They're here to prove a point.
Yeah, you know, I was speaking with Marcos Caballero and Francisco Calderon. He said some of these fighters come from the Philippines. They don't have trainers. They just, you know, learn from one another. Basically street fighters. They come to the United States not even knowing how to stand properly. They take them into the gym, and within a couple of months, they've got them actually fighting. And we saw what Eugene Lagos did, and Rolando Magbanua, I mean, he's here to fight. He's here to come away with the victory. Another upset against Joet Gonzalez. So Gonzalez better heed what happened to Emilio Sanchez earlier.
Yes, these fighters are very dangerous because since they don't have that much experience, but they're strong. As you can see, look at their physiques. I mean, they're in great shape, and you can tell they got power on those punches. And when they swing those punches, they swing every punch with bad intentions.
Magbanua from Cotabato, Philippines. Joet Gonzalez from Glendora, California. You mentioned the fact that he sparred top-level fighters. He is managed by Frank Espinoza, and he sparred with world champions. Feels like he holds his own against them, and that gives him confidence among those world champions that he's been in with. Benavides. David Benavides is one of the guys he sparred with.
As you can see, he's taking his time. He's not making the same mistakes Emilio made. Emilio went in there looking for trouble against a strong fighter. Joet is taking his time, filling out his opponent first, see what he's got. Of course, you know, he's got good defense. He's taking his time, first round, measure the timing, the distance, the power, and then he's going to start breaking them down slowly.
Not sure that he didn't get clipped with an overhand right there from Magbanua earlier in this round. Nonetheless, he took it and is moving forward. But you're right. I think, to be honest, they were both in the same locker room. So I'm sure when Emilio Sanchez went back there, he's like, oh, man, these Filipinos are for real tonight, because they came in for the upset. We mentioned it about Lagos, and now Magbanua is coming in with the same mindset. You know, he knows what Emilio Sanchez is like. Nobody has any idea of what Rolando Magbanua is like, and we're finding out right now.
Exactly. They'll get to know each other in the exchanges.
Break! Stop.
Emilio has
there you go.
Emilio has the experience to take it to the 10th round. That's why he's starting. He's very calm. He's starting with his good defense, just filling out his opponent.
Magbanua trying to close out his first round strong, and he's roughhousing because that's what he wants to do against a young fighter. We'll listen in the red corner with Joet Gonzalez, his father Joet Gonzalez, with the instructions.
He comes in and his hands up and watch out because he throws ripping shots.
Early tonight, baby.
The job right here.
Only today.
Don't step too far away.
If you purchase a ticket at the box
Register.
office,
As soon as he go wide, just push a little bit. And watch out for the reaction. Okay, if you drop your hand, just snap it. Snap it. Don't reach. Snap it and put it back up. Just give me puro snap it right now.
head on over to the Fantasy Springs Resort Casino box office.
That's coming in with that jab.
Our show goes down April 12th. And you immediately get $5 off your $25 tickets. Only today, and only brought to you by the Golden Boy. Golden Boy Promotions.
All right, so all of Joet Gonzalez's family fights. His father is a trainer. Jose, his brother, is 7-0 as a pro. John Jairo is an amateur. Joshua suffers from cerebral palsy. His sister joined the Army, and she's actually trying to qualify for the next Olympics. So, I mean, these guys know how to fight. They're fighters at home. There's fighters in the ring. But so is Magbanua, who's coming in here looking to fire strong in a fight scheduled for 10 rounds. We've only got 2 rounds in the first 2 fights, so we'll see if we can get past that area here.
Well, it looks like it's going to get better. I mean, right now, Joet is just being patient. He's just trying to pick the right punches, and you know, slowly he's gonna start opening up, because that's his mentality.
Let go, Rolando. Let go. Let go, Rolando.
Nice body shot from Joet Gonzalez earlier in this round, and he followed it up with a jab. So if he can establish that length and keep Magbanua from tying him up, that's exactly what Joet Gonzalez wants to do. He's a counter puncher by nature, so he's comfortable having Magbanua press the fight.
Magbanua is muscular. You know, he's gonna get tired. He's gonna slow down. You know, I think by the 4th, 5th round he's gonna start slowing down, because he's using so much power. He's using so much strength from his body. So it's just a matter of just taking him along. You know, carrying him around for a few rounds. Being very careful with his defense. You don't want to get caught with one of those punches like the previous fight. And this guy swings from every angle with power.
Very veteran move there from Joet Gonzalez as he was stepping back. He brought his hands up, protected his face, because you never know when the fighter is going to throw a punch. Protect yourself at all times is what the unwritten rules of boxing say. And Joet Gonzalez doing exactly that against an unknown but dangerous Rolando Magbanua from the Philippines.
See, up to this point already, you can tell that Joet is already getting his distance, his proper timing. He's landing the shots he wants to land. They're landing, and it's gonna go like that round by round. He's gonna start picking it up, moving it up as the rounds go.
Yeah, he's getting a lot more comfortable. We've talked about him being a good counter puncher, so he's very solid when Magbanua is coming forward. He knows that he wants to outstretch that jab and then clip him with the overhand right, and then he keeps his hands in a very solid defensive position.
See, and Magbanua, he's already dropping his left hand. He's opening up. You cannot do that against Joet Gonzalez. Joet Gonzalez is very smart. He's got the speed. He's got the speed, and he can hurt you.
Nice jab there from Joet Gonzalez. The longer he can keep Magbanua on the outside, the better the fight sets up for what he wants to do here on Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN. Glad you're with us. Don't go anywhere.
To the untrained, it appears as chaos. But here, there is only mastery. A creation so complex, only few can reveal it. Through mastery comes harmony. Hennessy VSOP privilege. Never stop. Never settle.
Bernardo Osuna alongside Joel Diaz in our 10-round attraction here between undefeated Golden Boy boxing prospect Joet Gonzalez taking on Filipino Rolando Magbanua. He's been stopped in his 3 fights outside of the Philippines. They were in Mexico and Russia, but here Magbanua is trying to stop Joet Gonzalez in his tracks, and he's got him pinned against the ropes.
Yeah, he's just trying to use his strength, you know, trying to rough him up a little bit, and that's what a lot of these fighters do. When they see these young fighters coming up, they try to rough you up a little bit to frustrate you. But you can see Joet is keeping his composure. He knows what he's doing. He's in control from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you see these young guys get flustered by those roughhouse tactics. I like the way Gonzalez is getting himself out of those situations, finding his way through them, not even looking at the referee for help. He's handling things himself, and that's a very good thing for a young fighter to have that type of poise.
Well, that comes with the years of experience. This kid goes to a lot of gyms. He loves going to other gyms and sparring, and he takes it as a challenge, as experience, going to gyms, sparring some of the best fighters in the gyms, world champions, and he knows he's been there with everybody. So, you know, stepping in there against Rolando Magbanua, so it's nothing different for him. He's in full control.
You know, one of those roughhouse tactics we talked about was Magbanua coming in with the shoulder, kind of giving him that lean. But what do? You take a step back and you clip him with the uppercut, which is exactly what Gonzalez did here in round number 3. An overhand right to the back of the ear that wobbles Magbanua momentarily.
See, Joet Gonzalez is trying to catch him with short shots inside, but he's very cautious with his defense. He knows that sooner or later he's going to find the proper opening. That's why he's not using much jabs. He's just setting them up. He's timing them slowly to find the opening to land the right shot.
All right, why does Magbanua put him in a headlock and put all that weight on it?
Why? He tries to frustrate him. You know, he tries to rough him up.
And then you got to carry another man's weight for a little while, and obviously that tires you out. As you know, one of my fighter notes that I have here for Joet Gonzalez, and we're seeing it so far, is that he's very adept at blocking punches. You know, a lot of guys like the slip punches. He uses his hands very well in terms of blocking punches and parrying, but that also tires you out, right?
Well, if they start punching you on the arms, of course, then you start feeling your arms heavy. But Gonzalez does that very well because being in full control inside, he can see the openings, especially when his opponent opens up on the sides.
All right, he clips him and then he slips, but Magbanua does not go down as Joet Gonzalez starts to let his hands go. Let's listen to Joet Gonzalez's corner. His father, Jose, is the first.
Gotta do those things, keep it smarter.
Rudy
Watch out because he might trick you, okay? And then he can pop it out. You don't look careful. Don't be confident.
You're giving that pressure.
Yeah.
Start touching my body. You can't take that body. Do you feel that shit?
Cannot take no body. Give me some puñaladas, baby. Some puñaladas, up and down. Okay?
Touch him up here, boom, but bring that shit back quick.
Puñaladas means stabbing shots.
He feels that shit, so he's gonna bring it down each time.
Apologize for the language.
Start putting it on. He can't take it no more.
He's afraid to get the balloon. He's afraid. But keep the in the side, let him open the balloon.
Watch out for the molados, huh? You got it. Too much on the nothing.
Let me go a little bit more water. Drink that one. Drink that one. Smart, baby. Keep hands out. Don't get confident.
All right, what'd you think of the instructions that he received in the corner, Joel?
Great instructions. You know, when you get instructions like that and you follow them, you shouldn't have a problem. You just gotta listen to your corner because your corner is there and they're watching what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong, what your opponent is doing, and you just got to follow directions.
Well, those stabbing shots he was talking about, explain to us exactly what he wanted.
Stabbing shots were basically what I was telling you earlier. Joet Gonzalez gets inside and he's trying to land those short shots, those short shots that do damage to the body, especially in the inside with those uppercuts, like he landed the uppercut in the round.
You know, we talked about earlier the fact that Emilio Sanchez was already being looked at by Robert Diaz, the Golden Boy boxing matchmaker, as a future co-main event fighter. The same pace is what they're expecting from Joet Gonzalez. So another one of these solid performances from Joet, and he could get on a Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN co-main event instead of being on the ESPN 3 undercard. So this is a very important fight for Joet Gonzalez, who's showing that ring poise, he's showing that development, which is what you want to see out of an undefeated prospect.
Come on.
And you know what makes it important fight for Joet is that he's not fighting just
Rolando, let him go.
any opponent. He's fighting a tough opponent that's giving you a tough night. You know, you're not gonna come in here and just walk straight through them. He's giving you some work, and he's making you think. Actually, he's bringing out the talent in you, and that's what I see in these Filipinos tonight against this young up-and-coming fighters, especially for Golden Boy Promotions. You know, these kids, they're testing them.
And you were mentioning that this is not the only Filipino, when we talk about Eugene Lagos earlier, who made noise against a Golden Boy fighter, knocking out Emilio Sanchez. Earlier in the week, we had another upset.
Yes, I think it was a couple of weeks ago. We saw Chimpa Gonzalez lose to another Filipino, and you know, they're strong. They know that when they come here, they get the opportunity. They want to take advantage of it.
Second warning.
You know, they're hungry. They're hungry to come and perform at their best and leave with a win.
All right, here Jerry Cantu with the second warning for holding against Rolando Magbanua. Let's see if this changes the dynamic of the fight. He's having to stay outside, and this is exactly where Gonzalez wants him.
Now Joet can keep him at distance, but at the same time, Rolando keeps coming in and out. Now he's moving his feet more, and also by moving in and out can give Joet problems, because Joet wants him to step inside and work those short shots.
Stop, break on your own, there you go.
Magbanua moves around a lot now.
Yes, he does.
Watch your heads.
Ooh, big right by Gonzalez. Magbanua takes 2 steps back as Gonzalez clips him with a nice overhand right. There goes the body shot once again as Gonzalez here in round 4 starting to put his punches together against this tough Filipino, Rolando Magbanua.
To the untrained, it appears as chaos. But here, there is only mastery. A creation so complex, only few can reveal it. Through mastery comes harmony. Hennessy VSOP privilege. Never stop. Never settle.
Marcos Caballero was doing work there in Rolando Magbanua's corner. He's the father of Randy Caballero and also of Romel Caballero, who will be making his debut here on Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN in the month of April 12th to be exact. So the Caballero family working the corner of Joet Gonzalez's opponent this evening. Nice right hand there by Joet. Combination punching. Just a very solid workman-like performance. Nothing flashy about Joet, but very fundamentally sound.
Very fundamentally. And, you know, he needs to start setting up for the right hand, because Magbanua is already opening up on the left side since the previous round. He just needs to start throwing a little bit of the jab to the body. You know, by putting the jab to the body, it brings his defense down, and then he can make the change go to the top.
Double right hand from Magbanua, who says, yeah, you might be fundamentally sound, but I'm going to try to crack through those flaws and make an opening for myself. He's trying to clip him behind the ear, and both fighters connect simultaneously on the left hook, and it looked like Magbanua got the best of that combination. He's just got his man strength already about him. Magbanua is 33 years old. Joet Gonzalez is only 24, still growing into his body.
And that's a big difference, because especially on those overhand rights, when Magbanua throws his overhand right, he throws it with some power. And he don't want to catch Joet Gonzalez flush with that punch. He will hurt him. That's why Joet keeps his left nice and tight, good defense, and he keeps looking for that body.
Oh, nice left hook counter there after a solid 4-punch combination from Magbanua. And now the combination comes from Joet Gonzalez. As down goes Magbanua, the accumulation of punches.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rolando, walk toward me. Walk toward me.
The fight is over as Jerry Cantu sees that Rolando Magbanua cannot continue. He wasn't walking towards him. He wasn't following his instructions. And Marcos Caballero is saying, hey, we were in the fight, he says. He wanted his fighter to continue. Maybe it was a language barrier, but nonetheless, he got caught with a nice combination on the finish there by Joet Gonzalez. It's Marcos Caballero who's complaining, but I don't see much complaining from Rolando Magbanua.
Oh, he knows. He did get caught with 2 punches, and that was a short uppercut with a left cross, and that put him on his knees. And you could tell that when he got up, he was still not recovered completely 100%.
That's the beauty of boxing, that you can finish the fight with a combination just like Joet Gonzalez had here in the 5th round of a scheduled 10-rounder. This is how it ended, Joel.
See, Joet comes low, catches him with that. See, it was a short uppercut and a left hook, and that did the damage.
Yeah, the uppercut, it was a delayed response, and then the right hand to the body. But, I mean, you explained it perfectly. He clipped him with that uppercut, and he was done. Once he went down, he wanted no more to do with Joet Gonzalez. There's a knockdown, just goes with the right hand. And then the referee, Jerry Cantu, starts counting. And even though
6,
he gets up.
7, 8. Rolando, walk toward me. Walk toward me.
He did want to continue, actually. I think he could have continued now that I see the replay.
Yeah, he should have got another chance, you know. Just for the benefit of the doubt, he should have got another chance.
Nonetheless, a solid performance from Joet Gonzalez defensively and offensively here in round number 5. He puts down Rolando Magbanua with a nice combination. He says, I took care of business. Put me on Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN soon. All right, Mark Frido's in the center of the ring with the official time.
Ladies and gentlemen, your official time, 2 minutes, 6 seconds in round number 5. Your winner by knockout and still undefeated from Glendora, California, Joet Gonzalez.
No doubt, Joet Gonzalez comes out on top with a big finish against Rolando Magbanua. You got to be happy with this performance.
He did really, really well. He was very composed, great defense, took his time. You know, he picked his opponent slowly until the time came, and he set the right combination to finish off the fight.
All right, a TKO 5 for Joet Gonzalez here on Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN.